2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. I just want to focus on that and give you a very short thought this morning, but one that I think is important. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. Now verses 2 down through about verse 9, we're going to have explained to us different aspects of this time of difficulty. But for now, I just want you to see that it says, in the last days there will come times of difficulty. Paul tells Timothy this. Now, when we hear the phrase last days, oftentimes we begin to think about something future to us. We think about a time that's coming, a time that is maybe toward the, if you have a theology that includes the rapture, pre-tribulational rapture or post-tribulational rapture, or maybe you have, certainly you should have a theology that at very least includes the second coming of Jesus in general. And you think, okay, the last days are when Jesus comes. That's not really the correct picture of the term last days in the New Testament. The term last days was used by Paul as kind of an elastic time frame that includes time from the ascension of Jesus, his resurrection ascension, the onset at Pentecost of the Holy Spirit, moving into the nondescript future of the second coming of Christ, so that Paul would see himself living in the last days. Paul writing to Timothy, he would be writing to him and understanding Timothy to be living in the last days. All throughout church history, Augustine, Aquinas, Luther, Calvin, Edwards, on to us, we'd be living in the last days. And so this is an ethical statement that he's going to make about how people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, and we'll look at that in the days ahead. But these kinds of ethical problems and the difficulties that are going to come upon God's people, well, that's just indicative of life in the last days, which is a way of saying life after Jesus leaves planet Earth, so to speak, in his resurrected body. And so what we can expect then in our life and moving forward in our life at this point in time is difficulty, challenges, because there's a system of the world that's going to be over against us. So therefore we should anticipate challenges and difficulties and not act as though God didn't tell us that these things would be coming, right? So that's part of what it means to live the Christian life, is to be a rooted Christian in a difficult world. Have a wonderful day. And trust the Lord today with any challenges or difficulties you face. Thanks.